Hey guys, welcome back. Someone asked me recently at an event how I would invest my first $1,000, or if I was to start now, how I would invest $1,000. And it made me think for the first time that circumstances are highly impactful for investing the first thousand. So how I would have invested it when I was 20 years old is very different than how I would invest it now, despite the objective being the same, is to make money with money, so to speak. I had to think about it, and probably for the first time in my life, I had to give a much more nuanced answer than I would have usually given. And so I summed it up here. I'm going to try to go through it and make it understandable for everybody. But first, know thyself. All right. If you're going to invest, or if you have $1,000 to invest from your tax return, because we just got through tax season, are you the type that's going to invest it and then immediately think, I need to spend it? Or are you going to obsess over its movements? Because very commonly it'll go down 20, 30, or even 50% in the next 12 months. Even if you picked a great investment idea, it could stay low for quite a while. And if that's going to impact you because it's your first thousand and you think, oh my God, I risked it and lost it, then perhaps maybe not the stock market, or not right now, right? If you're the type that as soon as it goes up 10%, you're going to cash it in and count it as a win, also possibly not the best way would be in the stock market, despite that being my favorite way to invest. You have to know yourself before you start making these decisions. So if you're very young, you don't have a steady cash flow of, free $1,000, you could invest it slightly differently than with stock market or real estate or that type of assets, because education is a very interesting investment. You pay the dollar price now, pre-inflation over the next several decades, but you will always have that asset. You will always have the education that you received. So long as it's a pertinent education, not knocking on the, less monetizable branches, but so long as you're picking something that is very pertinent and very monetizable, there's no objection on my part in seeing that $1,000 being invested in education. It doesn't have to be formal education, doesn't have to be classroom education. It can be books, trainings, just online courses, anything that you think is in line with what you're already doing and might increase your income. And remember, if you're paying $1,000 today for that course, it might take you a year to make up $1,000 using what you learned. But then after that, if it's another 1,000 the following year, that's 100% return. And forever and ever, the prices you charge will be shifted by inflation and other measures, scarcity in the market perhaps. But the price you paid in 2024 today will stay $1,000. So that's always pretty good investment. Next thing is value. So 1,000 in crypto is not worth it if you're 5,000 in debt. And I know I harp on debt quite a bit, but there are different places you can put $1,000 for yourself that will generate different points of value. If your car is dying, that $1,000 could go there as well, because transport is usually fairly important at getting to and from your workplaces or whatever it is. So the value of 1,000 applied differently for different people will have very different impacts in terms of an investment. So understand that. I know it kind of relates to number one, which was know thyself, but yes, understand your situation, understand where the biggest value of $1,000 will be. And no, a new flat screen TV is not $1,000 value. A new PlayStation 5 or whatever the recent consoles are, no, those are not investment in this case. However, if you're carrying credit card debt, canceling that or getting rid of that, or even just alleviating it by 1,000 and mitigating some interest, good investment, good value. Now, fourth one here, a lot of people argue with me about its experiences. So rich people, or people with a lot of money, tend to buy less stuff, less junk, and focus more on experiences. And this one here is very interesting because psychologically, the purchase of a material good will give you a endorphin or dopamine high very quickly. Occasionally you'll get buyer's remorse, right after, once you contemplate what you did. But it always fades. The thing you bought is always going to be eventually the old version, or just old, or might break down, and you just won't have it. Experiences, whether they be travel, skydiving, scuba diving, you name it, stay with you forever. And it's been proven in the long term that buying experiences increases happiness. And I thought that that was worth it as an investment for $1,000, no matter what age you're at. Increasing happiness will increase your positivity and your outlook on life, which will change the lens by which you filter events around you. I know that's a mouthful, but think of it as a husband and wife going to a store. The husband is a businessman, let's say, CEO or VP. It's a retail store, and what he sees is very different than what his wife will see. And let's assume here she's a stay-at-home mom. She will see discount kids' clothing. She will see food discounts. She will see all sorts of things that might need to be replaced around the house that are really just functional for the house. Cups, plates, placemats, you name it. The husband, however, will see different marketing tactics. What do they put in the four-way, which is like those bins in the middle of the big aisles? Or what do they put on the ends of the aisles that they're trying to upsell? What are the trends? What are people in the store looking at and potentially wanting to buy? So when I say it's going to adjust the filter by which you perceive life, that's what I mean. It's going to change what you see, and you're going to start seeing different opportunities. Especially if you're getting much more positive about life, you're going to see less of the negative, which is there is plenty, and you're going to start seeing and experiencing more of the positive in life. And that's always good, not just for increasing your earnings, but if you're a happier person, you're more likely to get a promotion at work, or to be recognized at work because you're a guy that somebody, or girl, that others want to work with. Whereas if you're the negative, I think Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, not so much. It might be the same job performance, just less agreeable, less fun, right? So experiences, great way to spend $1,000 or invest $1,000 if you want. Next, would be solutions. So for those of you who have made it to the point where you're thinking long-term about yourself, and I say this for those of you because most people can't see a month ahead. Very few can think 3 months ahead, and almost no one can think a year or a decade into their future. But for those of you who are thinking that far, think of what's either an obstacle in between who you are today and who you want to be in the future, and can that $1,000 help remove that obstacle? Or on the other side, what's holding you back or holding you where you are versus where you want to be? And can that $1,000 be invested into removing whatever sticky situation is holding you back? That is also a phenomenal investment. Again, should be taken into account with knowing yourself, what experiences you have or might need, what knowledge you may need to acquire, all of these things. And the solution might be to acquire new knowledge to get to where you want to be, right? Don't discount that. These things are not just in a vacuum. And then the last one, I threw it in. I'm throwing on it, but traveling. Just changing where you are and where you're experiencing things. And it doesn't have to be a massive vacation, at a resort or wherever. It could just be change the scenery. Go to another city for a couple of days. All right, spend $1,000, living life differently, seeing what these people are going through, good and bad, and it might put back into perspective what you are going through. So there you have it. 6 ways to invest $1,000 outside the stock market, and probably benefit just as much depending on where you are in life. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.